Words with Women? What are some factors into that?
So our mission is to grow the culture one word at a time.
Okay.
So inside of this mentorship and this movement is positive affirmations, workshops, tutorials,
Okay.
sister circles,
Okay.
places where you can dump, where you can pick up some things.
Right.
Also,
Okay.
writing, journaling,
Okay.
worship,
Okay.
just a place for women to understand how to use your words.
Right.
Because your words are the most powerful
That's the
thing
power.
that you have.
That is the power.
And just understanding who you are inside of how you communicate with your language.
Right.
Everybody's language is different. There are a million dialects inside of the English language.
Grand Digital made that beat.
Afro theory, talking about Afro theory, talking about Afro theory, talking about Afro theory, talking about.
Welcome to PGTV Podcast, where we bring you real life stories from real life people, one episode at a time. Today, I have top-notch poet, and she has been burning up the stages for quite some time in the Houston poetry scene. Although she has a national range, here in Houston, she has been a force to be reckoned with. She commands stages at all levels. She has had her own say in things. She has pulled crowds and made it understood and known that the vibe that she brings is the right vibe. So I want to say hello and welcome to Kanei. How you doing, Kanei?
Oh my God, that was amazing. I'm great.
All right. So I've been witnessing and watching you do poetry. I first got a chance to see you at, I think it was it Sugar Hill?
It may have been Sugar Hill.
I think it was Sugar Hill, like out on the southwest area.
Yeah, off of Sophomore.
Yeah. That's the first time I got a chance to really start seeing you. And I don't know what entity you were part of at the time, what movement, but I think Kodak and I don't know if Seven was hosting.
Yeah, that, at that time it was Poetry Lounge.
Okay.
Sugar Hill was Poetry Lounge.
Okay, Poetry
so
Lounge.
So it was Seven.
Okay.
And then Kodak was, I believe Kodak was hosting at that time. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and he had a real pretty fired girl DJ, a chick. She was DJing.
Superstar.
Okay.
Superstar was the DJ.
I want to ask you, first of all, where are you from? Are you a native of Houston?
No, I'm from Pennsylvania.
Okay.
From a city called Chester, right outside of Philly.
Okay, Chester. So let me ask you, what is it that brought you to Houston? Was it poetry, or did you just make a change to come to a different climate? A man, okay.
A man brought me to Houston.
Okay. Well, that's a fair situation.
Yes.
But since then, did you get involved in poetry in Houston,
yes.
or were you bringing poetry with you?
No, poetry was always with me. I've been doing poetry since I was 20 years old.
Okay.
So it is something that I've always done. So then when I moved to the Houston area, I started doing poetry.
Okay.
So just reintroducing myself to the market that I'm in now.
Okay. So was the poetry scene when you came as prevalent as it is now?
No.
So it was just a lot of new people.
It was, of course, it was Black Snow, Seven. When I came, it was Black Snow, Seven, Apotheosis, Epidemic, which that's where I started. It was in the Galveston area.
Okay.
So that's where I ended up implanting myself. And then as I migrated to the city, then it was, I met Poetry or Die, Black Snow Industry, Poetry Lounge. It was a couple other markets that I can't remember now, but it was definitely a place to go and do poetry. But now it's just now that the Grammys have a whole category, I mean,
Oh wow! So it's a thing.
it's a thing.
So what got you interested in poetry? What was it that pulled you to it?
I failed as a rapper.
You failed as a rapper, or you
Yes.
just quit as a rapper?
I know. I think I failed as a rapper. Like I think at some point, me and my best friend, we had a group. We were soft and lovely. Wow. And we were like our local superstars in our area as far as rap and dance. And then as we pursued the rap, it kind of turned into a singing group, and then it kind of diminished. And then I went to an open mic in Philly, and I just pulled up with my book, my composition book, and he was like, "Are you here for the open mic?" And I was like, he was like, "Well, you got a book?" And I was
Right.
like, "Yeah." And he was like, "So what's your stage name?" And I was like, "Wow."
Right. You hadn't
So
got
he
that
took
far
my
yet.
book. He was like, do you mind if, I take a look? So then he started looking at my rap, because they're mainly raps.
Right. Right. Which
So
is
he
what
was
poetry
like,
is.
"Man, you know what? This is Blaze." He said,
Right.
"Now remember, when they call your name, they're gonna say, 'Welcome to the mic, Blaze.' You got to remember that's you." And I was
Right.
like, okay. And I said, "I'm cool if I read from my book." And I read from my book, and then that's how
Right. Okay.
my rap became.
Okay. So how did you transition from Blaze into the magnificence of Kanei?
I think as I started to grow in poetry, one of my mentors always told me, "Stay relatable." And at the time, back then, it was cool to have all of these outstanding names, but when you wanting the professional bookings, you need to have something that's relatable,
Right.
and it should be personal. And I was writing, and I had writer's block, and I'm from a time where our parents let us drink really early.
Well, okay.
So I was, my mom was like, "Hey man, you always do good when you drink that wine." And the wine was Kanei.
Right.
So, but it with a C.
Right.
And I just took the K
And put a little twist on it.
because I'm Kia, and I just I made it Kanei, and I had an affinity for my friend that lived on the end of my block. Her name is Monica, and her first daughter name is Kanei.
Okay.
So it's kind of some thought processes there.
Okay. So with the name change from Blaze to Kanei, had a mind shift or a metamorphosis in the way you saw moving from the rap realm into the poetry realm? Did you recognize or see a difference in the name change, or did the name change make a difference, or were you just staying the course of what you now knew you become, poetry?
I didn't differentiate the two at the time.
Okay.
It just kind of happened by itself.
Okay.
As I grew in poetry, I think it changed for me because I was always a storyteller in my lyricism.
Right.
So I was always the oddball lyricist because I would rhyme in different places and in different cadences
Where others
outside
weren't.
of the regular rhythm
Right.
of what at that time rap was.
Right.
So I kind of was like a storytelling lyricist.
Right.
And then after a while, when I started seeking mentorship and then trying to transition into my own style, I met someone who told me, "You are not a rapper and you are not a poet.
Right.
You are a spoken word artist."
Okay.
And then after that moment, I think that's when
Kind of a hybrid of the two.
right. That's
Yeah.
that's when everything started to come together for me.
Okay. So it's pretty safe to say that even when it did happen, the name change took a play
Yes.
because you were coming into yourself.
Correct.
Even with the changing of the C to the K, because the K is more personable, and the name being more relatable.
Right.
So within the realm of the metamorph of you coming from Blaze into Kanei, And now understanding that you are a spoken word artist,
Mhm.
your words can be spoken more freely and more clearer.
Right,
and
which
resonate
turned
with
me
people more.
into I don't know if it was, I can't find the word for it.
Mhm.
Blaze definitely was a great part of my transition of Kanei, but I battled that.
Right.
Because Kanei is outspoken, she's raw, she's gonna say things that need to be said. She is not a fan of
Right.
saying things that people like. She's
Right.
just gonna
The
be
truth.
truthful.
Right.
And back in that day, for a woman, that wasn't
It was taboo.
if that wasn't
Not something
appropriate,
right.
that wasn't, acceptable. So, a lot of doors were closed for me
Mhm.
when it came to my art and my message.
Mhm.
And then, I've had people and, other artists tell me, no, you have to switch this up.
Right.
And I was like, it's just not what God is calling me to
Right.
do. I
You
can't
wouldn't
switch
be
this
Kanei.
up.
You wouldn't be you.
I wouldn't be me.
You would be them
And,
or whatever their idea was.
So it took me I'm 30 years in the game.
Right.
Right? And for me, success is not measured by Instagram followers, how many views you get on a video, or you go viral. Your success is measured by how far you can stretch your arms.
Right.
And I've met some great people over the years, and I know somebody who knows somebody.
Right.
So if I'm not connecting lines and people, then what am I doing?
Right.
So for me, that is what
Right.
Kanei had turned into. So those doors that I knocked down for women to speak the way they are speaking now,
Right.
I feel like I'm a part of that fabric.
Right. I think you are too. Because you have a history and a fabric in it. And I'm sure, even way back to Pennsylvania, you say Chester, even by way, sometimes Philly, I'm sure, because it's kind of a close.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that you had a voice and a presence amongst the people who were in your circumference, whether it be family or friends or whoever, because you've always been you.
Right.
And you're always going to carry the mantra of being about truth. Spoken word just gave you an opportunity to display it to the people,
absolutely.
to see who you are.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
So I'm pretty sure you did have a major piece in the creations and the building blocks of women being able to speak on those stages and keep their own personable part of it.
I feel great about it.
In the sector in the Houston area, how many different stages would you say you've journeyed through in the poetry realm? Or would you say that there's been stages?
Oh, yes. I mean, it's grown so amazingly, and I'm like fortunate to bear witness.
Right.
I've seen poetry shows in the Houston market where 800 people is in the building to listen to poetry.
Right. Right.
How insane is that?
Right.
You know what I mean? People are buying tickets to go see poetry and receive the message, right?
Right.
Back in the day when we didn't have those type of audiences.
Right.
So
or the vocalization.
Yeah.
You
for
couldn't
me,
speak it like
I
you
mean,
said.
maybe it's biased for me, but Houston is special when it comes to poetry.
Right. Okay.
I mean, it's so robust in so many lanes and avenues, slam, spoken word, written read, book readings. It is so many
jazz music as well.
Oh man, I mean, it is places where you can go do it's live music, and they want poets to come bless them. I mean, it's amazing.
Okay. So tell me, what stage was your, I guess, biggest learning experience and aha moments as far as your journey through poetry?
Aha moments. Politics are everywhere.
Okay. Explain a little bit.
Even I mean, sports, you know, work, corporate politics, gatekeeper politics.
Right.
I mean, it is just, you know, what artists on the other side are wanting to do is do their art freely.
Right.
But
Politics,
however,
right.
it costs you something.
Right.
You know,
Like them saying change your style.
Yes, there's no freedom in what you're doing if you want to do it at a certain level.
Right.
So you're still breaking barriers that should have been broken already.
Right.
So if we can just sit down, relax,
right,
talk about things,
right,
and help people,
right,
love and help,
right,
that's
and receive
that's
people
what we do.
From where they are in
Correct.
their mindset,
correct,
rather than changing it or trying to convert it, letting
right,
them bring anew to you.
For me, it is. Your art is your art.
Right.
God gave you those words. He gave you that gift.
Your creation.
When you're looking for someone, like when other artists come up to me and they say to me, hey, you know what? I need mentorship.
Right.
Right?
Right.
My first question to them is you got to tell me what you're trying to do with your art.
Right.
I can't help you
magically know where you're going.
Right. Like if you are seeking mentorship from me.
Right.
I'm going to help you understand how important it is to know who you are.
Right.
And for me, that's life in.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
Your art is your art. I can teach you how to package it.
Right.
I can teach you how to deliver it.
Right.
I can tell you what others are looking for, what's going to, you know, complete your toolbox. So if you're ever in a mentorship with me, we're going to put tools in your toolbox.
Right.
Things that you need when people come up to you and they want to contract you for an event or they are enlisting your art.
Right.
You know, what you need in your holster, in your toolbox, how to prepare yourself, your branding, your marketing, all of those type of things, right?
Right.
And those things require relationships.
Exactly.
So that's the important part for me. And not the stages, so to speak, that people are trying to get on, and there's gatekeepers at those levels.
Right. And they don't know they exist.
Who are judging their art, and that's their, listen.
That's their job.
It's your stage. It's you curated that. You poured your heart, soul, and energy into it.
Right.
So I respect it.
Right.
However, what are we doing to build the community?
Mm-hmm.
That is where I'm at.
Right. Okay. So, a lot of what to say right now, young poets or poetess, what would you call a female poet? Poetess or a poet? You would keep it poet?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, like it depends. So sometimes people want to be called a spoken word artist.
Okay, spoken word artist.
Some people want to be a poet.
Right.
You know, when you are trying to, you know, be.
So when dealing with, I guess you would say, a new age of spoken word artists coming into the game, a lot of artists don't know that gatekeepers even exist. That would be something that through the stages and ages, through running into the persons at the gate, you realize and learn they exist. And in order to get through the gate sometimes, that young artists would have to now start transforming if they want to go through that gate, if they want to go through that area. And they may not have been prepared to make that transition through that gate. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So if a young spoken word artist were to ask you, Kanei, how would you advise me to handle the gatekeeper?
The advice I would give to someone, first, we are losing artists to the gatekeepers. So the culture is losing artists because they're finding every door that they try to go to, they have to sacrifice something. Right? So now those artists who were thriving to join the art, they just quit.
They quit.
They just quit. Worth it. They just quit. It's not worth it. You know what I mean? Because at this point, poetry is not mainstream.
Right.
You know, we are creating those platforms and those stages to where we are having the capability to pay our spoken word artists top tier, you know, fees so that they can continue to thrive, right? So our legacy, the younger ones, some of them are quitting because they're not getting where they need to get, they feel like they need to get because their art is being judged.
Right.
I don't have a problem with you judging the art, but what are you doing to improve the art?
Right.
So if we have, or we feel, or the gatekeepers feel that their art isn't good enough to be here nor there, then what are you doing to help them improve that art so that they can get, which is the answer to your question.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if they want to be on your stage, how do they get there? Because they can't get there according to the way that it is right now.
Right.
Right?
Trash.
So what are we doing to grow it?
Right. Had you ever, or had it ever come to your mind to create or bring about a type of verses, if you will, for poets?
Well, it's so
or
funny.
For spoken word artists?
But it's so funny you say that. Right about now, which is the largest poetry platform in the world right now, does a show called Bars Fest.
Okay.
Where it's exactly that. It's a verses.
Okay.
You know, you have this poet versus this poet, this person versus this poet, 3 rounds. It's judge flags. It's already, it's been happening.
Right. Okay. Okay. Because that's something, it would kind of alleviate a gatekeeping, if you will, if it could be held by persons like yourself and other like-minded people who have journeyed through the mazes and know the routes and have the capacity for mentorship for others.
Absolutely.
Because right now in this era of time in our culture, mentorship has expanded because people are realizing mentorship is basically passing the torch.
Passing the torch.
To younger minds who don't know the maze yet.
Yes.
And I think...
And it should not cost you.
Right.
It should not cost you. The game is free.
But that's getting back to the gatekeeping part again. So it would take like-minded others, and you can almost make it a time-sharing type thing, to where everyone profits and benefits with and for each other.
Everybody who's ever worked with me, talked to me, knows that most of the money that I make off my artistry, I pour back in the community.
Right. Okay.
I pour it back into the community, whether it is inside of the mentorship of the young women that I mentor, or is donating to push another piece of our culture forward. I pour back in. The game is free.
Right.
All of us, all of the elders should be an open book.
Right. Exactly.
We should be.
That's what it's about, community. It's about
community, and no one should feel shunned, in fear, disliked. We should be open. People should be able to come up to you, me, and go, "Hey, can I ask you a question? Do you got time to talk?
Right.
Can we have a sit down, coffee, tea, something?"
I think that to a degree, by it not being done that way, the gatekeeping mindset has crept in to certain people who have been handled by the gatekeeping for so long. It has become, well, shit, I'm gonna get mine. Or they've elected to become agents for the gatekeeping. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
So my mind always tries to find a loophole, if you will, or a tie-in. Existing things to coexist with things that have not yet been brought about. Even though they exist, they have not been brought about. So with all this being able to be live on TikTok or Instagram and bring people up, verses can be done there for poetry. That can be done in so many magnitudes because you have now the power to appear in front of a screen and connect with others to create.
And it's crazy. Funny you say that. It's not known, but it is done. Baltimore has, I think it's Charm City Slam, where they do a versus live.
Okay.
Right about now, they stream their whole show, YouTube, the whole competition.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, see what I'm saying?
Okay, see? So that's why I say bringing things that exist but are not known to the mind of those who are traveling the roads, because it's about making it a little more accessible.
Right.
Not so much just easy, but accessible. And you have to have counterparts or others who are
You got
in
a
the
chain
same.
link. I call
Yeah.
it the Underground Railroad across the country.
Yeah.
If we are in a spoken word community and we call ourselves community, somebody should be able to pick up the phone and from,
Right.
I don't know, Ohio,
Right.
and say, yo, I want to go to Houston.
Right.
And somebody says, hey, guess what? You want to go to Houston? I know somebody in Houston.
Right.
Let me make a phone call. Hey, Kanei, yo, what's up? Somebody, my homeboy from Ohio want to come to Houston. Can I link y'all? Yes. Now we link. Now he coming or she
Right.
coming to
Exactly.
Houston.
That's
Like,
how it is.
that's how it should be.
And it should be that way for all that we do. And if we did that, we would all be successful in friendship, relationship, monetary, community, because that blueprint applies to all things.
All things.
If we would just access it and make it happen.
Hey, road to the righteous is narrow, bro.
Hopefully by the time people get a chance to hear others speak, because some people hold this dear to their heart now, they just haven't spoken it or we haven't heard them speak it. But somebody's gonna resonate to what we're saying right now today from the poetry realm, or it may be some guy playing football in the community and feel like everybody is shunned off and they keep getting mishandled by their accountant who's losing when they could come together and create a community of them who work towards putting monies in places to make those things happen. The consciousness and the awareness. So that's what needs to be done. Okay, I want to ask the question. When you were rocking at the Improv, how did that work? How did that transpire?
That's a crazy story too. I was an artist on a Poetry or Die show.
Okay.
Okay. And at the time, Soul Caritas and Poetry or Die was in a collaboration at the Improv.
Okay.
Right? So I had been a part of this organization and we were just doing poetry.
Okay.
However, the host that was supposed to be the host that night was late.
Mm-hmm.
And Carlos said, go get Kanei.
Mm-hmm.
And I was eating.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, all right, reverse. He was eating and he was like, go get Kanei. So I can't remember who came and got me. Somebody came and got me. And I sat down, I said, yo, what's up? He said, you're hosting tonight. And he never stopped eating. He was like, you hosting tonight. And I was like, whoa. What do you say? He was like, you'll be fine. And from that day,
He knew you had what it took.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been in a leader kind of spotlight, but I kind of, it was crazy.
It's just who you are.
Yeah.
You command things. It's Kanei. It's from the short time that I've got a chance to see and be around you, that's you. You have the quality of no BS, straight to the point, but efficient, straight ahead, getting it done, making it happen. It's like you know how to put things in perspective. You can have a mindfulness for others, but none of that whiny stuff. We got to get it clicking and popping, man, because you can't be stuck in your emotions. You got to see this thing to the next level. And you've carried yourself that way. And that's one of the things that made me want to reach out to you for this interview.
Thank you.
Because, and when you speak, I listened to one of your videos when you were metaphorically putting your lyrics into a sexual act.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought that was so creative. I was like, man, and the crowd was really devoured it. They were feeling it. So you've always had that to me. I haven't always known you, but since I've known you, I've seen, especially when you rocking the shortcut and I used to come in there and see it. I was like, yeah, she got something.
Thank
and
you.
I think Kodak and all of them think highly of you as well.
Good. Yeah.
So let me ask you, what was the transition from the Soul Caritas movement or situation to where you went to the next level?
My passion for women.
Okay.
I believe my assignment is that my testimony is supposed to open up the hearts and minds of women who think that they're by themselves in
Right.
their situation.
Okay.
So then my passion for women grew, and I had always had my own brand, and God was pushing me toward it's time, Kanei. It's time. So then which birthed Words with Women.
Okay.
So then, after Words, now that I'm working on that, so my primary focus is the growth of women.
Okay. So that kind of migrated you out into that realm. Okay. So what are some moving parts and some things that go into Words with Women? What are some factors into that?
So our mission is to grow the culture one word at a time.
Okay.
So inside of this mentorship and this movement is positive affirmations, workshops, tutorials,
Okay.
sister circles,
Okay.
places where you can dump, where you can pick up some things.
Right.
Also,
Okay.
writing, journaling,
Okay.
worship,
Okay.
just a place for women to understand how to use your words,
Right.
because your words are the most powerful
That's the
thing
power.
that you have.
That is the power.
And just understanding who you are inside of how you communicate with your language.
Right.
Everybody's language is different. There are a million dialects inside of the English language, right? So we can navigate and swim and flourish inside of all of them.
Right.
Not to be judged.
Right.
How good, how bad, how whatever others believe your art to be. It's your passion. God gave it to you. That's why it's so many different languages. He scrambled the language for a reason. You are supposed to take the people that understand you to the kingdom. I'm supposed to take the people that understand me to the kingdom. You're supposed to take yours.
Right.
Seem like we all communicate in the same language, but it's obvious that we aren't.
Right.
So you can't shun somebody inside their art.
Right.
That is unacceptable
says,
for me.
In the beginning is the word. So if those words are scrambled, you cannot get the creation or the movement.
Right.
You can't even start because you have to put it into formula.
And we laugh and we joke and we be like, oh my God, I can't believe this person did that. Oh my God. But those people have a following.
Right.
People show up for them.
Right.
We can laugh and joke and say they art is nothing, but look,
it's touching somebody.
They got fans.
Right.
She just saved or he just saved somebody, regardless of how we feel about the art anyway.
Exactly.
We have to acknowledge that.
Yeah. And not try to gatekeep it and change it. Let it be what it is.
Let it be what it is.
Right.
And just teach them how to package it and give them the knowledge on how to move inside whatever it is that they want to move inside in.
Exactly.
We owe it.
Right.
God demands it.
It's the link in the chain. It's our duty. Exactly. Okay. So what in conjunction with or outside of are you working with as far as poetry in the current moment that goes with A Woman with Words or outside of Woman with Words? Any other type? You say you're touring. Is that
so
a part
Woman
of
with Words has its own show and platform. Right now I'm on tour with Cougarville, and that consists of myself, Bougie the Entertainer, and Black Swan. So we are 3 mature women that offer and it's a life experience, filled with all of our art and how we express it, along with a Q&A podcast feel where we allow our patrons who just watched and experienced the show to ask questions and give feedback.
Okay. So what are do you have dates set already?
Oh, yes, we do have dates. So we have December the 7th, we are in New Orleans. November, we just left Dallas. Dallas was November the 1st. New Orleans is November the 7th. We have To be announced is January show. February the 13th and the 14th, we will be in Houston.
Okay.
So I'm on tour with that. And then April, I'm hosting right about now Philly. I believe it's going to be on the 4th. That date is coming.
So for people who may want to start vibing with the poetry that you present and bring, is it any way that they can seek out or go up online somewhere to keep up with what's going on so that they can follow those dates or follow anything
Oh,
that
yes.
you have?
So if you're looking at Cougarville Tour, it's cougarvilletour.com. All of our dates there and tickets are all, for all of our shows. When we put the date, the ticket is available. IAMKANEI on Instagram. There is all of our tour dates and all of my Instagram posts. And if you want to check me out and check out my poetry, you can do it there. You can also do it at kaneipoetry.com. I'm old, but I'm right on the TikToking and the social media stuff.
I learned that it has a way of placing you there itself. All you have to do is be recorded.
I'm in a love-hate relationship with it.
Okay.
My team is always like, Kanei, you gotta do this, and it just takes me away from peopling. Like, we have forgot how to people.
Right.
Like, you can see the awkwardness. It is no longer. I remember, when we were in the grocery store or outside, everybody was slapping hands, clapping, hi.
Right.
We on our iPads, on our iPhones, and we have become cars on the highway. We don't even people.
Especially since the COVID.
We don't people.
Right.
COVID been here since COVID been here.
Right.
Hand washing is a problem.
Right.
We in a culture, we haven't taught those basic preventative measures.
Right.
And as a nurse, I owe it. Wash your hands.
Right. I mean, just the elevator ride up here, if there's somebody in there with you, they almost in the corner hiding. I mean, and don't let
and
it
be the wrong color.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. And don't be the wrong color.
Or the wrong gender.
And I speak and be polite. I hold the doors when necessary for the, proper setting. And they'll be like, what? As if I'm offending them or something.
And it's crazy, and I know it's very discouraging to our young Black men. However, keep doing it because you are on stage at all times. Because guess what? Even when no one is watching, your Father is watching.
Exactly.
He say do right all the time.
All the time.
So even when it gets negatively looked upon, and the devil try to creep in to make you feel unworthy, or I'm not going to do that no more, because that's where it'll push you.
Right.
Like, I'm not doing that.
Saving grace gonna come and swoop up.
Saving grace gonna come.
Swoop
Let the universe handle it.
Exactly.
You on stage, I'm on stage 100% of the time.
Just imagine when a culture, the culture, all cultures embrace that you just said. The universe gonna handle it. So many people will stop trying to force stuff because the force clogs things up to where you can have a pleasant, focused mind on how you're going to carry out, and you can have cluttered around you in people's mind who are on different waves, pulling and distorting.
Always.
Just because it's almost like you say guilt by association or birds of you in that position because these your people, but man, I need to get over here.
The hardest thing in life is free will.
Exactly.
Worshiping God and doing what He asks you to do is easy, bro. All He's asking is for love and help. Love and help.
Share that with me.
That's easy.
Share that with me. I like to hear you say.
Correct. God says love and help. If the poor should be exalted more than the rich should be humbled. If I see someone that I can help, I need to help them.
Right.
If it is in my power, God demands it. Right? That's easy.
Okay.
It's free will that you gotta say no to. It's easy to drive past a homeless person and not give him a dime. Right? Free will is saying, I'm not gonna do that. That's crazy. He probably making more money than me. Your intent is your intent. What the person is doing to it, with it, whatever they do with it is on them. We are judged. And you're judged, I'm judged. Nobody
We can't be gatekeeping what they gonna do with it.
We can't be gatekeeping what they gonna
Right,
do with it. Your intent
exactly.
is to love and help.
Exactly.
You was called to help them, right?
Right.
If you wasn't called to help them, you wouldn't even notice them. You wouldn't even have saw them.
Right.
But you saw them, and
So
something in your
that's your
spirit
mission.
said, and because you at first you look down, you be like, damn, do I? Right in that moment,
Right.
you allowed your spirit to be shook by your non-faith.
Right.
Because if God called me to help him, if I saw him, I'm already looking. I got some. I'm going to give because I can. I understand what God is asking us to do.
Right.
We have to love and help. That's it.
When you performing on stage, has there ever been connections with audience members that come up to you and let you know how deeply you've touched them with a piece of work that you've just recited, or how you gave them an enlightenment or made them feel a certain type of way because of what they were going through?
Yes, I believe if you stay true to your art and you are obedient, it will happen every time.
Right.
Every time I am called to do something on that microphone, I truly step out on faith. Okay. Meaning, it took me a while to get there, though.
Right.
Like, because you will be programmed. Like the night you getting ready, you already know what your poem going to be. You already know what you going to have on, down to your outfit, down to the time that the person call you on stage. You know how you going to walk and go up there.
Right. Okay.
And your poem falls flat because you weren't obedient. You have to be obedient to what God is telling you to do. The energy is going to tell you.
Right.
God is quick. He don't play around.
Right.
Hey bro, you need to do that.
Right.
And then you upset with yourself because you didn't do the poem that God told you to do.
Right.
Because God sent somebody else to get the message from the poem that you were supposed to do.
Right. Understood.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's life, and that's not a microphone.
Right.
You know it. It can be when you walking, when you getting in your car, and you got 4 things to do, and your friend call or somebody call and they need your help, and you got 5 things to do. You see how God just interjected in there right there? Because you on his time. You didn't plan all this stuff you thought you was going to do for your life today. Right. And your friend called. And you got the time, but it's out the way.
Right.
And you be like, oh man, I wish I could. I just can't. But you can and you won't. Free will.
Right.
You're choosing not to help.
Right. But
when you was called upon.
Right.
And if you can't help, you're supposed to express love and try to help in a fashion, because it's not always money.
Right.
Help ain't always money.
Right.
This may be time on the phone. Right. It may be pick up.
Or trying to find somebody else that can fill in.
Correct. Right. And we don't do that enough. So that's just when I go and I do my job. So to answer your question, and I do my job and I'm obedient, there is someone that is going to come up to me and tell me that they needed whatever it is that I deliver.
Right. Right. Because it's for them and it was for you to deliver that.
Correct.
So, what are your intentions with poetry for the duration of your time that you see that you're willing to continue to access the stage with your word?
For me, I'm gonna say majority, my major purpose, where all my energy will exude out of my body, is to save the artist's time.
Okay.
What will warm my heart and know that I completed the assignment is if it took me 30 years, it should take you half.
Right.
If not half
of the half. Right. Right.
So when I see some of the people that I had an influence on doing things that took years to do for others and they're there now,
right,
then I've done my job.
Right. Exactly.
I've done my job because I gave them a piece of the knowledge.
Right. Exactly. And that, I think, knowing that is what the powers that be desire to prevent as often as possible, because it raises,
if you
the
ever
mindset.
Want to know, or if you ever want to observe or look for elevation, mentorship, whatever you are looking for in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Look at someone, look at where they've been and where they're going. If
Mm-hmm.
they are in the same place that you met them,
Mm-hmm.
then what can they give you?
Right.
What can they give you?
No problem.
If
Trouble.
right. So if I'm looking to grow,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm looking on getting advice, mentorship, or whatever from somebody, then what does their resume say?
Right. It has to be
And
something
some people may
that's
not
higher.
be looking for growth. They may just be looking for this kind of style or whatever. But you have to look at what you want in your life.
Mm-hmm.
You have to understand who you are and where you're going.
Right.
And in mentorship, you can find that.
Right.
However, if the person or whomever hasn't been anywhere, where can they take you?
No, they have no experiences. They have no
They just have
information.
time inside of the culture or
Right.
the game or the art or the career.
Right. They need to have the roadmap that they can show you. Exactly. Understood. So, within that knowing, are those parts of your mentorships that you're going to be allowing for others to have access to?
Correct.
Showing and
If-
taking
if
them
you-
to the next level.
Even
and
you, if you know me
Mhm.
and I know 50 million people, then you know 50 million people.
Right. Exactly.
You know the 50 million people I know. If you
Right.
know me,
Right. We're connected.
we
Bonded.
connected.
Right.
My resources should be your resources.
Right. Exactly. At the end of the day,
It's
because that's the, what'd you say, the love.
that's the love and help.
And the help.
If I got $1 and you need it, I'm supposed to give it to you.
Right. Out of love and help.
Out of love and help.
Right. Exactly.
Because God says what? I'm going to give you what you need.
Right. And that's sowing seed.
You
right
go,
there.
I'm going to make sure you got what you need. So if I'm called upon to help, I'll be like, God, I don't know.
You have others.
This lady's I'm supposed to help this lady. I go, okay. Because
Right.
then God is going to, he going
Right.
to make sure I got whatever I need to help.
Right. Exactly. 'Cause that's what it's supposed to be. Currency flowing.
See
That's
how
what
that
the monetary currency.
currency.
Right, exactly. We want to thank Miss Kanei, the #1 female poet or spoken word artist that I know.
Oh, well, thank you.
That
Thank
I
you.
know. Because there's power in your words. There's
Thank you.
intention in your words. There's reasoning. There is love. There is help. There is mentorship. There is establishment. There is focus. There is forwardness.
And
There is so
I
many
swear I'm
things.
at.
It's so many things packaged within the bundle of love that you have by way of your spoken word to gift the world with. I think that people will be missing out on a basket of goodies if they're not locked in to what you're doing, where you're going, where you come from, and what your purpose for them as well as yourself combined is.
Thank you.
So I think that we all should start having access to giving our thanks and receiving the words
Yeah.
from others, because directly and indirectly, we all have a bearing on each other's journey and course of life.
That's the circle of life.
So, I want to thank you for even taking time out of your day and coming here.
I know we've been trying to do this for a long time, so
Yeah.
I had to commit to it today.
And I
I'm
remember,
praying about commitment.
I want to thank you guys for coming and tuning in to PGTV Podcast, where we bring you real life stories from real life people, one episode at a time. We want to give another round of applause and another thanks for Kanei. We want to say peace and love. All right.